Oh, I do get it. Right?
You're such a knob. Godzilla would lose to King Kong.
Whoa!
Is a false statement made by an idiot.
Right,
Listen,
that's false information.
Plenty of time for this all today. Welcome to the Working Title podcast. It's the best we could come up with in this time. There's a lot of time that we
The
had.
best you could come up with is the best name ever that we've ever created.
This is maybe the best thing we've ever come up with. Anyway, our network that hosts us and all our sponsors decided that it was the right move to go for this. So here we are, Working Title podcast, episode 0. Somewhat of a pilot episode. See whether this is something that we could do. See how much money we get from this all.
Yeah, that's what we're in it for, the money, obviously.
Well, I mean, that's what I thought we agreed. So we're here, and I'm joined by two lovely people. If you'd both like to introduce yourselves first.
Well,
anyway, that's cool.
Mr.
Anyway, I wanted to move on to the first thing.
Right.
Enough of you guys. Anyway, let's move on.
Qrow has wrong opinions and he thinks that Godzilla would lose to King Kong.
Charlie has wrong opinions and he thinks that Godzilla would win against
You wet the
King
bed till you were 14.
Right, I was actually 15, but
Right. Hey, let's not open with personal attacks. Like, come on. This is an organized debate.
I hope your mother gets bird flu.
Right.
Listen,
So
we have topics, but I'm so enraged by you, it's hard to stick to them.
Fuck up, man. I'm just right. We want to start with your fucking topics first.
Well, no one else made any, so I guess we will.
If anyone hasn't caught on yet, Charlie is enraged by the prospect of Godzilla vs. King Kong. A new movie which has come out, which I haven't seen. I know that for a fact.
Neither have I. Qrow just came in and spoiled it.
I wasn't spoilers, thank you. I did actually spoil it. Right, you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, literally yesterday he was like, I hate when my friends talk about movies I clearly say I haven't seen yet.
Right, hold on.
Spoil everything.
Further proving that Qrow doesn't actually have friends, he's just lying.
Yeah, right, that is... Right, you don't need to come for me that.
they go to another podcast.
Did the Scottish invent Friends too? Was that...
We did actually. We invented the Bank of England as well, and penicillin, breathing oxygen.
They invented a little twat like you do.
Yeah, I'm the best
Alright.
thing that's ever come out.
Hey, come on now.
It's just some weird joke, isn't it? An Englishman, an Irishman, and a Scotsman start a podcast. It does sound like the setup to something, but
We've got 3 topics here. 2 of which are actually interesting, one of which was a filler. In order, people who smile in photos, members of an animal kingdom you could beat in a fight, and would you survive an apocalypse?
which one's the filler? That's what I want to know.
People who smile in photos, obviously.
How is that not? You seem genuinely upset by
Oh,
this.
I fucking
You
hate
seem
them.
Genuinely upset.
I want to douse them in kerosene.
I think since we've got him so riled up, I think that's where we'll start. So what is it about people smiling in photos?
There's
that
something
gets
inherently
you
wrong with smiling in photos. I just think people who can smile naturally, like just whack, like people who have a smile for photos. I know people who have a smile for photos
So,
and they
like,
whack that smile out.
photogenic people.
Yeah, fuck them and everyone they
Oh
love.
yeah, fuck nice looking people, am I right? Now my brother always
Hey.
used to have a face that he would pull. It's kind of like the sort of British kind of look of acknowledgement when you know someone in the street, when you just kind of it is that. He'd always do that for a photo. And we
Get
always
2-degree
picked on
rise of the head.
But like, okay, so there was like different trends of like people of like doing things for photos. I noticed throughout like the 10s, because you had duck face. Duck face is one I always used to hate.
Oh, the big
You had people doing the peace, like the peace sign.
Oh, we love
Yeah.
the peace one's a classic.
The peace is a classic. And then you did people like pointing to each other. Is like one that you do at clubs for some reason.
Yeah, I know that one. We call that one the day one brother.
The
Day
one
one
brother.
Because you put an arm around the shoulders and you point at them.
Yeah, it's like, this is the man I'm with.
And they're always dressed in like black jeans and like a nice white t-shirt or a white button up, and there's no in between.
Yeah, it's always
yeah,
a button up
fact.
or just like a muscle fit kind of. Well, muscle fit in air quotes because like
It's either that or an Adidas.
Oh yeah, that's the
Classic
thing.
Adidas t-shirt.
North Face was something that rose to power around here as well.
Yeah, my
I
dad
don't know
loves
where
North
that
Face.
came from, because that used to be something
Probably the
where people
North.
like. Yeah. Fuck off. Get your dad jokes out of here, man. Not comfortable in this atmosphere.
Sorry, I had to tell you this way, son.
I'll tell you what, when people smile in like a photo, there's like a particular smile that's so audacious when it's just like, yeah, I'm having a good time.
I'm having a good fuck you and your good time.
I'm like, I didn't come on this app to see other people enjoying their lives. I
My
just can't take photos altogether. Like,
yeah, I can't take.
No,
We sent
same.
the selfies yesterday, and none of them were good.
Yeah. I mean, I'll
Every
be
single
honest, mate.
photo we
yeah,
I
sent.
mean, we're
but
good actually.
props to you guys for actually taking them. I just wouldn't. Like, I'm just not that guy.
I'm shit finding angles. I have one where it's just me sitting in a chair with fucking half my body in it, and my like it's like fucking self-reproachful look in my eye. Just like I shouldn't have done this.
It's like, God has cursed me. I am here
Please.
just sitting looking
Lord.
like. Yeah, you're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
My friend Chris has like a smile, right? And it's like I call it his fuckboy smile, and I've made memes of like made the Hannah Baker meme where it's like that damn smile.
That smile.
And
That
because
smile.
I've just so many pictures of him doing the exact same smile, and it's a lovely, handsome little smirk he does, and it fucking infuriates me because he can just whack it on whenever he wants.
When I was at university, I was selected as a part of a few people to do tours for like new students and so on, or prospective students.
Just flexing that you're
Um,
educated.
Yeah,
yeah,
just flexing.
I'm
Fucking into a university.
I can read, guys. I know, I know things.
Uh,
Except people always used to take the piss because I was a drama degree. People always like. Anyway, point is, I used to wear this like big coat. I used to have this big because like our color, like our uni color was like orange, our brand was like orange. I had this massive loomy orange coat on. And I used to go around the place, and because they're all like younger people who were like prospective students, obviously, I was like, right, I'm gonna have to like train myself to kind of be really open and welcoming and chatty and talkative, which anyone who knows me
Not
knows
you.
I'm not that in any.
Definitely not.
I had to genuinely sit in front of a mirror and practice a smile.
that's
Because
psychopath behavior.
I know,
man.
Yeah,
I know it is.
That's yeah.
But
You
it's
cut
more
up women's bodies. Only a fucking psychopath does that. Like you've cats in your locker
I
room.
was sitting there in front because it was like a. It was like the mirror I used for shaving. It was like a shaving mirror. I was just holding it and just smiling into it.
Oh my god.
You okay?
I was like, if any of my roommates come past, they're gonna think I'm fucking.
Yeah, that's something.
deranged.
Do you ever have something where if somebody walks into your room and like it's healthy for you, and if and like it's just something you do, but if they walked in and saw you doing it, it would look very unhealthy.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have one that's really bad.
Go.
Go on.
I I love showers, and I think the worst thing about showers is that you have to stand.
Right.
So I like
So
to
you
sit in my
just
shower.
You sit in the shower.
Listen, let me
wrong with you?
finish. It gets worse. I like to sit in the shower, right? And I like direct the nozzle so it like sprays on me on the thing, and I like lower it a bit and I turn up the heat because by the time the water reaches you, it would be cold. There's a science to it.
How
And it's
long? How tall is
Wait,
your shower? Is
yeah,
it
wait.
like?
taller than me, but it's very meditative because you're warm, you're sitting down, and you have this reassuring hum of the shower.
Right, for the record, how
And
big is your shovel? How do you
it's a
sit
bath and
down?
it has a shower in it.
Right, okay.
So it's like a bathtub. And
Why
so
do I?
I would sit down in the fetal position in the corner of my shower
Feels so
where
weird.
nothing can hurt me and meditate. And I'm like, it feels fantastic. It's a great way to clear your head. But I realized if anybody walked into that bathroom and saw me bollock naked, fetal position in the corner of my bathtub, water spraying down on my stupid, ugly stomach.
I've seen enough
Oh.
coming of age films to know what part of the story that's in. So I think see, I pictured you like cross-legged directly underneath the water.
Yeah,
I
like
do
it's
that, but your back, you want to relax. You like want to put your back against something.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I
that's like an
wouldn't.
ingrained like
Trust
thing.
me, I've been doing this for a while. I know all the tips and tricks. If you ever want to sit down in the shower, hit me up and I'll tell
I'll
you how.
remember to yeah. If anyone's watching and feels like sitting down in the shower, just remember to contact Charlie beforehand. He'll
Quick
clear
tip:
you up.
cross your legs, because your legs will slip because it's naturally a wet surface. So if you cross your legs in a certain way, one leg will hold the other in place, so you can have a proper sit down. It's great crap.
Wait, so if yours is like a bath shower, do you
Yeah.
have like like some people have like those mats like along the bottom of their bath, the like
No,
sticky mats?
we don't have those,
We
which is
couldn't
weird
afford them.
because I've never fought. I mean, I fainted in my shower, but that had nothing to do with the bathing, the mats,
I
and that
fainted
hurt.
onto a painting and shattered glass, but I didn't feel it because I'm a hard man.
Because you're a hard man.
Because you're unconscious.
I'm built different.
Just built different.
I fainted because I was just sick and I went to take a shower and the steam got to me and it was really disorientating because I was like sitting on the edge of my bathtub because like this isn't right, and then then it was just everything was black and my neck hurt and I opened my mouth and I was sprawled on the fucking in a bathtub with a fucking conditioner bottle sticking into my neck.
Are you? What? I don't have any stories like that. I'm just like.
I didn't have any, but when I was in my first year of uni, Jesus, this is, I swear to, I rarely speak of uni, but for some reason today I'm on my second uni story, and in the first year they put you in a room on site because obviously you're new and you don't know anything, and I had an ensuite. I was lucky enough to be one of the people who got an ensuite, and it was
Is that just like your own room?
Yeah, so you just have a room with literally a small bathroom adjacent, like a hotel room kind of thing. But my shower was literally like a cubicle. Like it was literally the width of me, and it looked like I don't know. It looked like
Gulag shower?
It looked like an escape pod, right? I generally because the door was one of the ones that you like pull across.
Oh yeah.
So I basically just sealed myself inside of this thing that was like the width of me. I could barely breathe because it was so small. And one time, because I had to get up really early. Well, I say really early, quite early for one of my lectures. And I just, when you, like, I'd left it so late because I always leave it late. And I realized I was late. And I just jumped out of bed, dashed in to get a shower. And I had a massive head rush. And I clearly wanted to collapse in the shower. But it literally, I'll have to find a picture of these showers.
Kept you upright.
Yeah, it kept me upright. So I was just leaning against the side like, oh, God, I feel awful.
Did you ever watch the Matilda movie?
Yeah.
What,
Wait,
you know the
Iron
fucking
Maiden?
the fucking hokey pokey or whatever that Miss Trunchbull puts Matilda in. That was your shower.
I mean, kind of. I mean, if Future Will, hey Future Will, if he ever bothers,
yo, Future Will, what's up?
If he bothers, first of all, wow, you look handsome. Second of all, if you find a picture of those showers, be sure to post it right now because they were crazy. But like, to go back to your question of things that like are completely normal, but if other people walked in on, I don't actually know if this. I've asked a few people whether this is like normal practice or not. But like cotton buds,
Yes.
I clean my ears with those.
Yeah,
Well,
that's...
as in like just cotton buds, like no, like not like the one like with a stick.
Yeah, like the ones with a stick. Yeah, I'll just like put them down my ear.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Clean
Yeah, no,
them like
that's
that.
the thing you should do.
No,
I mean, you
you're not-
shouldn't,
you're
but
not
people
supposed
do.
to. Yeah.
I feel like because you can buy like little like serums that you like put down your ear, but then I feel my ear just always gets like bungy and weird. I hate
That
it.
pushes the earwax further up.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, technically, cotton buds probably aren't the best, but I've had a few cases where people have walked in on me with a stick up my ear, and I'm just like wriggling around for shit. People
This
looking
isn't
at
what
me
it
like,
looks like.
yeah, like I'm gonna leave you to it, man.
I'm not into ear play, I swear. It's not me. Listen.
Me looking for my left lobe, like
Damn, Dumbo better make you act up.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I have anything that would look weird if someone's walked in.
You are something weird.
Yeah, probably just me sitting there. Yeah.
Sitting there, because you're the most vocal in any game you play. I could never scream the way you do. You scream in
Right.
such open fear.
Yeah.
I feel like the atmosphere Qrow generates in his own house means that nothing would confuse anyone if he walked in.
Yeah, God
Or
help
they
if you ever
walked
get like, oh, can't say that. If you ever get like robbed or killed in your own house.
What was it that happened one time where you had to like go? Was it like a bat got in or something? Like, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
What?
Right, so my mum usually has the windows open when she's sitting reading, and like the
She's
other
summoning bats, is she?
yeah. And one night, like somehow a bat flew through the window, the open window. We were playing something on it, like either on the PS4 or on like PC or something. And all I could hear is her screams from the other room, and I'm just like it was muffled, but I was like, that's definitely someone screaming. There's someone screaming in my house. So I went, right guys, I'll be right back. I got up off my chair, I walked into the other room, and she's like standing in the corner of the room trying to slap it with a pillow.
Wait, what was she trying to hit it with?
Just with a pillow.
Was she winning?
She definitely wasn't winning. The thing was fucking zooming around the fucking room.
Oh man.
I had a spider on my eye once.
Oh, did you get a spider in your
A spider
eye?
in your eye?
Yeah, on my eye.
Would you not
I was-
feel it like crawling?
Oh, I felt it. I was chilling on myself and looked straight up, and something from the ceiling fell, and it hurt my eye. And I was like, something hit my eye. And I went to the mirror and I looked, and there was a spider crawling on my eye.
What
And I
the fuck?
screamed for my sister, who was upstairs, and she didn't come. And so I was like panicking. So I went to I splashed water in my eye, and I don't know if it went back in my eyelid or if it washed out.
Man.
But I never saw that spider again, and I yelled at my sister. I was like, "Why didn't you fucking help me?" And she goes, "I thought you were just doing your crazy shit."
I thought you were
I was
being
like-
a dick, mate.
You think I was just calling your name in fear for the ha?
It's for the funnies, man.
That's nice that she thinks that in your time of need that you'd call for her.
Yeah, I was fucking crying spider. I was apparently the boy who cried spider.
The boy who cried. I've never had anything like that, but I did once. I have these massive slippers that are kind of like Ugg boots, just because
Uggs.
I can. I mean, they're comfy, right? They're not
The
like
Crocs
actual,
of the boot world.
yeah, they're not like actual Uggs, but they're like, they're like boot slippers, right? And
Yeah.
they're really comfy and they're fine, except things can get in them.
Oh,
Right.
I've never had this problem since this point or
haven't heard
before
from
this
Sid in a
point.
while.
Yes, it's kind of quiet since.
Yes.
Sid's my cat for anyone. Well, not my cat. Sid's a cat that resides in my house that doesn't belong to anyone within my house.
Bit of a
But
waster, doesn't pay rent.
yeah,
Yeah.
we should really get them on the rent. But anyway, back to the story. So, like the top floor in my house, was the attic at some point, right? So it has windows that go upwards, because we have a triangular roof, and so things can quite easily fly in. We've never had anything like a bird, thank God, but bees come in all the time and shit. And one got into my slipper, and I can't remember what I was doing, but I don't know. I wasn't wearing my slipper, and then I slipped it back on. Everything was fine. I walked down the stairs for a bit, and then bang. And it stung me on the fucking foot.
What the fuck?
And my whole foot went numb and I collapsed. That was just complete shock. It wasn't painful. It wasn't any more painful than a normal bee sting. But the fact I was just walking along and then suddenly my foot just seizes and I just collapse.
I've never even been stung by a bee.
You've never been stung by a bee?
I've nearly
never
drank
been-
one.
I've never been stung by a bee, but I remember when I was a kid. I don't know when it must have been summer or something. And I just fell asleep on my bed and I woke up and I could feel something on my stomach, under my t-shirt. And I reached down and pulled my t-shirt and there was a wasp just
Just vibing.
just vibing, just
They're dangerous. They'll keep stinging me.
Yeah, exactly. they don't get fucking killed. But it's just
Yeah. I've never been stung ever by anything. The
Yes.
only time I've been that close to a bee is when I wasn't looking, one flew into my Fanta, and I was sipping it, and I felt something fuzzy caress my upper lip, and I looked into that
that's
can, and I just saw a fucking bee in my Fanta, just dead, and
Beasts.
I went, great.
Beasts
Delicious.
fear, Charlie. Beasts never
They
come
fucking
near him.
do.
Speaking of not being scared by animals,
Oh, here we
I
go.
think that's a great way
Good
to.
segue.
That's a thank you for the first
Great
segue
segue.
of the
People who
podcast.
smile in photo.
Now that let's talk about. No, I was gonna make that dark. Yeah. So, animals that you feel you could take in a fight.
Okay, I think we should break it. We shouldn't just be like, I could fucking kill a hamster. I think we should break it up. I think we should have, the monkeys. We should have the cats, and then we should have the fucking the
All right, I'll tell you.
reptiles.
I'll go. Was it like predators? So if you can hear my keyboard. No, it's just gonna bring up the film Predators. Great.
To be honest, really
Animal.
good movie.
Different from the kid movie Predator. Predators is
let's
directed
start
by
with-
Chris Hansen.
Let's start with Predators. Let's start with
How about you take a seat?
reptiles, boys. Go.
Okay.
On the topic of Chris Hansen, reptiles.
I'll be honest. I could probably beat most snakes in a fight, but I'd be too scared to try.
So
Yeah,
okay,
honestly, I feel like I could take a snake. Yeah.
so let's say you're on a open space, right? You're in like a white room. You're Harry Potter. You've died in like the last fucking film, whatever. You're there, but instead of
Hey,
Dumbledore, sorry,
Nagini.
opposite you,
Nagini.
there's just a snake, just an Ekans looking at you.
And
Right.
Eakins again.
An Ekans. He's just opposite you, right? So there's no cover, nothing. You've got like
Right.
I don't know, 5 meters to work with between you two.
How long is a snake?
I don't know what's the average snake length.
Oh,
It's
right,
all,
I'm
well,
sorry.
it depends on the snake.
Yeah, right, pick a snake, a cobra.
Are they venomous?
Hold on,
See,
let me
venomous
tell
or
you.
non-venomous is a different thing, because a non-venomous snake will bite you and try to choke you, whereas a
Yeah.
venomous snake will just bite you once and leave.
Yeah, cobras are venomous.
Because all you have to do is just stop it from getting around your neck, and you're solid.
Yeah, I mean,
But if it
No, they'll
launched,
break your hand.
No, if that thing launched at me, I'd give it a good right hook. I reckon. If it
If
tried to
I-
jump up at me,
I was at an
bam.
animal farm once, and they had snakes, and this snake wrapped around my wrist, and it wouldn't let go. And it wasn't like a big deal, but he said, because they couldn't get him off me, they had to give him like food to get him off me. And I was like, how bad was that? And he goes, well, if he would never be this aggressive, but he could have broken your wrist.
Jesus.
But
How
it's
old were you?
it's never something the snake would do, but it's something it can do. Because
yeah,
if a snake can put enough pressure to suffocate a human, that's whatever. It's like so many pounds of force. It can fucking
I'm glad we're learning. I wasn't expecting us to get into the details of this. I thought you'd just be like,
Snake-
I could
snakes
beat
scare
a
me,
Komodo
right?
dragon, or I could kick it in the head, me.
like, what are you gonna do? Beat a snake to death? Yeah,
maybe.
you'll see no sign of beating a snake to death because it has no bones. How do you know?
Right,
Bludgeon
here's
it.
Right, here's what you do: is you get it by like under the head, like so it can't actually bite you, and then you swing it and smack it off the wall. Done.
Okay,
I'm just saying that is how easy it is.
Spin around like hammer toss and then just release it.
like a discus.
Yeah, like who's that guy on YouTube? Who's the guy on YouTube who like gets like bitten by like animals and shit?
Oh shit, I hate that. There used to be a CBBC show that was similar. I'm sure.
Oh, it had the discount. What's his face?
He just put his arm on a table and then he'd be like, "Yeah, fucking bite me, you better."
Okay, bite me up. That's all.
And then they bite him and then he'd be like, "That hurt," and he'd be like, "Yeah."
Okay, so that's snakes, and
Yeah,
I think
I found the guy who gets bitten by all the things. His name is Coyote Peterson.
coyote.
Yeah,
It's called Koyo.
Yeah, he's
What-
a
how-
coyote.
What about a Komodo dragon?
Yeah, you know what? I could probably stomp one of those.
I mean, have you seen the Bond film where the guy like falls in a Komodo dragon pit and he gets absolutely ripped apart?
Ugh.
How fat? Oh, they look cool though.
They're kind of they look like they'd be slow, but I reckon they're not.
A huge Komodo could probably kill and eat a medium-sized anaconda.
Okay, but I'm not an anaconda.
A large
My anaconda
anacondas
don't.
prey on crocodiles?
What the fuck?
Jesus.
I don't know if
Ugh.
right, I know no one can see this image, but look at that image. No, look at the size of that. What is that?
That's
real?
why is he
That-
holding its tail
That's a
like that?
Komodo dragon. Yeah, Komodo. You remember in the Disney show Jessie? Mr.
Yeah,
Kipling?
they had a Komodo dragon.
Did they? What?
Mr. Kipling?
Jessie.
Hey,
I
Jessie!
reckon I could take a crocodile.
Alright, now listen, this is where we digress. I could not take a crocodile.
I can take it. You just got to get behind it, right? Because it's they're deceivingly fast, but if you get behind it, you've won. I just pull up, hey, look.
Crocodiles famously never turn around. They're very headstrong and always move forward.
Yes.
Have you seen what they look like when they're swimming?
They can run 22 miles per hour.
I can run 23, so I'm sorted.
Remember, kids, you don't have to be as fast as the animal. You have to be faster than the person you're with.
Oh, shit, Qrow.
I'm just saying.
I'm bringing you.
All right.
I think the biggest thing about these creatures is when you listen to most experts on crocodiles, they know like some specific stuff about them. They know like oh, this is how hard it bites. But really, the only difference between someone who's an expert on crocodiles and someone like me is that they're not afraid of the crocodiles.
Yeah.
Because they understand how much they have to fear. I would be so scared. I would not, even if I was like, this is how I beat this, I would not be able to.
Right, see when people in films, right, they get scared of something and they freeze up. I understand that's something people do.
I've never done that.
Do you think you would freeze up in like a really crazy situation?
Bro, I'd be running.
I've had situations where where I think like something's in the distance and I like freeze. But as soon as I feel like it's like very like irrational, like there's nothing. My mind knows there's nothing there, but my own irrationality is like, oh look, if I know something bad is there, I'm out of there.
Yeah.
I'm gone.
Charlie's just zooming.
Like a bunch of my niece's toys are in a room downstairs, and late at night once, when I was pissing out the back because someone was in the toilet.
Did one start moving?
One of the toys just turned on. This happens apparently. One of the toys just turned on and did a little song. I was up the fucking stairs before it finished its verse. I was out of there. I in my head was like, that's just a toy that made a sound. I didn't give a fuck. I was out. I was moving to Alaska. I had killed 7 men. I had started a family.
Because I find, yeah, even you have moments where your brain can rationalize what's happening, but your body's really moving. When I'm full of adrenaline, like I just act for myself. Like I don't even, my brain's not even telling me what my body's doing. My body's just like, listen, lad, this is what you want to do, and I just move. So I don't think I'd freeze up. It's like
crocodiles don't look real.
They what?
They don't look real. Like they have an uncanny valley effect to me. I look at that and I go, there's no way that's a thing.
Yeah, they don't. They look like dinosaurs. I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's
have
like
you seen like old fish that live at the bottom of the sea that have like headlights?
Well, like they're luminescent.
Oh yeah.
There's no light down there.
What are they called again?
I don't know.
That was in
Nemo.
Finding Nemo, yeah.
I know. I had a dream actually last night that I'd signed up for a deep diving course.
What the fuck?
And it was awful because I hate the deep sea. Like I can't do that. Like
the unknown.
Did you see that stuff?
I think it's the unknown. Like no, literally. Okay, so we were playing. I don't know when lockdown started. Charlie and I were on GTA one time, and Charlie was like, "Oh, there's this Easter egg at the bottom of the ocean in GTA, right?" And that's a goofy game that I've never taken seriously in my life. But I was genuinely scared about just going deep into the ocean because that's like a massive fear of mine. I just hate the idea of it so much. Even just talking about it, my body just seizes up, and I hate it.
We know more about space than we do about our own ocean. And it's like, have you seen, the blobfish?
Yeah.
Do you see the pictures of that? Because it's like, it was revealed that it looks different when it's actually where it's meant to be, because that's meant to be on the bottom of the ocean. And so they got these pictures of the same fish at the bottom of the ocean, and it's like scaly and everything. And because the pressure is so much different, it literally liquefies, and that's why it's the blobfish.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah, it's like it looks like so much different.
It gets extreme like tissue damage or something.
Oh, I'm gonna have to fucking find pictures of it now, aren't I?
It's terrifying. I mean, you can put in as much work into this as you want. Jamie, pull that up on the monitor.
Jamie? I don't know who Jamie is. Jamie's this fictional guy who works
It's from Joe Rogan's podcast. He's a little fucking youngster that just pulls all the stuff up on his monitor.
The intern.
He's like, hey, Jamie, get me a fucking video of a dog fighting a fucking crocodile.
I'll tell you what, speaking of editorials, since we've just about reached the halfway mark, I think that deserves a round of applause in itself.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But, yeah. I was gonna say, I've been working on something. When I say working on something, about 5 minutes in Photoshop, but I think I've got something very on brand for our thumbnail that I think you guys are gonna love.
Oh,
I'm very excited.
Wait, that's why you were up until like 3 a.m. last.
Oh yeah, no, this was my entire night. And I think anyone who's actually bothering to watch the podcast will see why it took me so long to do. So I want to hear your reaction live, and if you have any adjustments or stuff before this goes live, then do tell me. But I don't think I don't think you guys. I don't think you guys have any problems with it.
I love how I'm assuming that's Charlie on the right.
Yeah.
Has learned how to float. I've also learned how to float.
It's tactile telekinesis, my man.
Yeah. He's learning. No, it's my fanny split. It's the best I can do.
Yeah, I love how you kept the fanny split I haven't had in 4 years.
I had to find something to identify you. I'm sorry.
That's
So
glorious.
yeah, it's great.
And obviously the person in the middle is the situation from Geordie Shore.
Yeah, it does look like a situation.
And then we have Carl Weezer on the left.
Can I have your
For those watching, it's probably just this image you're looking at right now.
Hopefully.
Oh man. Hopefully, yeah. If it was good.
It'd be super awkward if you found something different and then forgot about this part. There's,
I mean, to be fair, when we were talking about it yesterday, we were saying maybe just putting in stock photos.
Yeah.
Because that's just my brand. It's partly out of laziness, and partly just because I just find stock photos so funny.
there's something deeply disturbing and hilarious about them.
Yeah.
There's something just not quite right about them, and that's my sense of humor. So that's my sense of humor is just looking at stock photos. The amount of times I've just been in a public setting, just looking at funny stock photos and laughing to myself.
I don't know what's weird though.
Just on the tube, just fucking giggling.
On the tube.
Yeah, I just be like on the tube, just giggling at this picture
On
of
the
a man.
V-tube.
This man, yeah, on the V-tube.
Ooh. Check out next episode where we get a V-tuber on again.
It's definitely
Yeah,
not gonna be next episode.
looking at you, Ava Goth Kitty. Come here. Get the gang on.
Who will we get first? Our first viewer or a sponsor? That's the thing. Who do you reckon? Okay, let's just say 5 years down the line, picture it in your head. We're on episode 732.
Episode 3.
Episode 3. The title is, I don't know, Charlie's found another minority that he's taken offense against.
yeah. Follows.
And who do you think would actually like sponsor whatever the fuck you could brand our content as? Like what
Honey.
sort of? You think Honey would come for us?
Raid Shadow Legends.
The Raid Shadow. I'm just trying to think like what sort of.
No,
Maya the
right.
Oracle.
Instead of asking that, what would you want to be sponsored by?
G Fuel for the memes.
Love Honey.
Love Honey.
Do you use Honey?
I'd like us to be the podcast that people listen to whilst getting intimate.
I like
like
it. Charlie didn't clock onto what you said. He thought you still meant Honey.
Yeah, Honey. Yeah, you could probably use Honey on Love Honey.
You want to make a sex cast where it's like, yeah, you ever seen a booby?
If you're listening to this right now, I want you to slip out of those lovely little trousers you've got on.
ASMR
That's an
roleplay.
idea. That's an idea. Thread check. Go.
Thread check.
What are you wearing?
What am I wearing?
Don't out me like that. I'm wearing a black hoodie, a grey shirt, and pajama bottoms.
Oh, be a bit more descriptive. Come on, I want to feel like I'm there next to you.
I have a ponytail.
Cheers.
Okay, I'll go next then. I'm in a great cedarwood state hoodie.
Wow, alright.
And then I'm wearing like a burgundy kind of just t-shirt. And I'm wearing some. I don't know if these are Nike or not. They're probably from Primark again.
Are they
or
the
Reebok.
Reebok?
No, they're not Reebok or the Nike. But they are black joggers, and then I've got a black pair of fuzzy socks on.
Oh, look at you.
I'm also wearing black socks.
I'm a middle class boy's dream at the moment. I'm wearing
Polo shirt.
a Hollister jumper.
Yeah, all middle class.
Some bootcut jeans with the bottoms turned up because I'm that guy. and then I'm just wearing some socks with holes in because I.
Do you say that like it's meant to be on purpose?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
My
pretending
ripped
to be
socks?
Yeah, my ripped socks.
My stone-washed ripped socks.
Gucci, please. Yes. I'm
Couture.
actually just waiting for someone to notice me for modeling, to be honest. But I think the
Okay.
problem is, I just need to get my toes out, and then
We've
Oh,
gone
so you
off
think-
topic.
So you think you could be a toe model then?
I think I could be a hand model. I have really, my hands are quite nice. They're probably
My
like the
hands-
nicest.
Are really not nice. They're really pale because I'm a person.
I had really calloused hands before I went back to school, and because we were back in school, there we have to use hand sanitizer after we leave a classroom.
Yeah.
And my hands just lost all their calluses, and they just look so silky smooth. I could be a hand model. Whoa, listen, bro.
Whoa, someone's enjoying their hands a bit too
hey
much.
now, come on now. Hey, come on now.
My hands are really nice, apart from the webbings in between the fingers.
That's because you're part duck.
No, I'm kidding.
Evolution.
But my hands, my hands are really nice. Apart from, I have a scar across.
I do too.
I'm just really cool. I just have a scar across
I have a
the back of my
burn
hand.
skull somewhere on one of my hands.
I have
My
a
hands
scar
are
on
also
my
really
palm.
cold. I have really cold hands, like naturally.
Oh, do you have like poor circulation?
I mean,
Because your
I
body's
haven't
deficient.
I haven't asked them, but
I mean, that's what
probably.
it is. If your hands are
Is
cold,
it?
it just means you're not getting enough
My
blood to your
hands
hands.
are cold.
That's
But
what
there's
makes you
sometimes
warm.
Where I'm just vibing, where I'm just chilling somewhere, and someone come up to me and go, "Are you okay?" And I'll be like, "What?" And I look down, my hands are like purple, and my veins are like popping out, and I'm like, "Oh shit, man! I'm transforming. Stay back!" And they're like, "What?"
Transforming.
Yeah,
Like,
it
you
just
made me
means
angry.
it just means like your arteries are like a little narrow. So
So am I gonna
not a lot
die
of
at
blood.
like 54 or something?
No, it just means you'll have. It means your hands are better for the cold because you won't feel it as much because you won't have heat to lose, but you'll also fucking get frostbite faster than anyone else.
When I was like 8 in school, some kid. Oh my god, I'm so sorry for anyone watching the podcast. Will forgot to fucking do not disturb on Discord, so everyone just heard me go "Ba-ding" really loudly. I have to try and edit that out. Anyway, so when I was in 8 at school, when I was 8 at school, this girl in my class came up to me and she was like, I can tell what your life's gonna be like by looking at your hands. And I was like, okay. And like
It's
some of
like
the
you're a
other,
corpse.
she'd been around like some of the other kids and like they'd clearly enjoyed us. I was like, yeah, do it. And she like literally all she did right was put her finger right in the middle of my palm, just rub her finger down, not even like along one of the lines. Like she clearly wasn't even reading it, and then just went, yeah, you're not gonna live very long. And I was like,
I feel like that wasn't really a reading and more of a threat.
yeah. I shouldn't have gone to school the next day, but hey, I'm alive, so it's all fine.
According to you,
Yeah, according to you.
Cold Hands McGee.
I mean, if this is heaven, I'm a bit disappointed, and
that
if
where-
this is
If
This
hell,
is
I'm
heaven.
even
It
more
looks a
disappointed.
lot like Margate. No.
Yo, apologies to any of our listeners from Margate.
Yeah, fuck you and everyone you love.
We love you.
I actually hope you rot.
Probably alienating half of our organisers?
Organisers.
I don't know why I say organisers, but...
I'd like to apologise to the Scottish education system for churning out the turd that is known as Qrow.
look.
Yo,
I'm
no,
quite small.
Crow's school was cool. He said he had like lines on the floor to tell him where to go or some shit.
I'm just saying that there
Were they just for you?
We didn't have lines on the floor. No,
What was it?
Fucking like certain departments were coloured different.
He's defensive. They were just for him.
You said like, I'm sure you said like a school or like a school, but maybe it wasn't your school. Like there was a school that had like lines on the floor to show you how to like get to different.
Yeah, those schools, like different schools, like have different ways to show you how to get your classes. So like I've seen like some pictures of schools that have like the green line will take you to the English department, the red line will take you to like
Did they
RE.
get traffic jams? Like,
Yeah, they need to fucking install these big fucking traffic lights.
You had English department. This was in what? What level of school was this?
High school?
Jesus.
What, do you not have an English department?
We had English teachers.
Yeah, we've got like,
They didn't
an
have
English
department.
It's just what we call them.
We had department, but we had literally, we didn't even have signposts, right? We just had to guess. I remember, I just
You went to a
had to
private
guess.
school too.
Yeah, I went to a private school. I'm a cool boy, but
There's no excuse for that fucking
I
lack
missed
of work.
one of my first lessons in year 7 because I just didn't know how to get to class, and I just didn't know how to get there. And it's really sad. And even like when I was growing up through the school, I just see like all the little year 7 pupils at my school just all running around, like holding onto each other's backpacks, trying to work out where to go. Because they were sorry, I just elbowed my desk. That's what that noise was. Like, ow.
I do enjoy as you go through school. Specifically with me, I was a really big goody two shoes in school. Like I would really, really hesitate to break a rule or like lie to a teacher until about my 4th year of school. Which for our version of high school, it's 6 years. You can skip 4th year, but I chose to do it, so it could be 6 or 5 years. And I hung out with 2 drug addicts and criminals for literally the entirety of the year because I was in a class with none of my friends and I had a panic attack on the first day, so I just chilled with these people. So they kind of got me into just. I think the most defining moment was when, because we would just sit out on PE because our PE teacher had no spine and wouldn't tell us to not do PE, so we would just sit on the stage and just do nothing. And one time, a teacher with actual authority came in and was like, "Why aren't you doing anything?" And me, who was actually it was actually a bit sick today, I said, "I'm actually sick, sir." And he goes, "Do you even know?" And I said, "No." And he took me and my friend Craig down, and he asked us again. He's like, "Steve, no." And he goes, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, morning detention." And my heart broke because I'd never gotten detention before, and I was terrified. And then, but my friend Craig said nothing. And then when he walked away, he looked at me and he said, "Charlie, he didn't write that down." And I said, "So what?" And he goes, "You won't remember." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he said, "Yeah." And so I believed him and I didn't go. And the next morning, my mum drove me in and fucking, would you ever believe it? We parked right behind them. He got out of his car, looked at me, waved, and went on his way. And that was the moment I went, "Oh, they're not omnipotent."
I can imagine you just getting out your car next to your parents and just freezing. You know, like in Sunny when Max just like notices Charlie across the room and fucking shits himself.
He would come into our room for announcements, and every single time I'd be like, "He's found me out." It's like Hans Landa had entered the room. I was like, "Would you like a glass of milk?"
I used to get so. I don't know. I was never a bad kid, but I was never like a
You're like me. We're very similar in school.
I was just a kind of a drifter. Like I wasn't in a group. I'd be kind of comfortable anywhere, and I was kind of friendly with a lot of my teachers, especially like when I got up to school and my classes were a lot smaller. You know, when I was in like classes of like, 4 to 8 people, so you just knew your teachers really well. I would just mouth at them sometimes because I knew I could get away with it, and they'd just be like, if you were anyone else, well, like no, sometimes I was really close with one of my drama teachers, for instance, and I don't know if you had it, but we had it. So we had quite a few people at our school. Our school was like maybe 700 to 800 people, I think.
Maybe 400 roughly.
And our lunch hall was quite small, so you had so every year got like a different lunch slot. And what that meant is you had like massive queues outside like the lunch hall, kind of like waiting for their turn to go in. And then you always had like a teacher that was like on the door, like, like making sure people can go in smoothly and stuff. And so whenever it was like one of the teachers that I was close with turn to go, I'd just like stand next to them and just do everything in my power.
Line.
No, I just like even if it, because when you're in like sixth form and stuff, like no one really gives a shit about you anymore, so you can just walk through. But I just stand next to the teacher and do everything in my power to just get rid of all the power that the teacher had and just cause anarchy in that line. Like every time they give an order, I just say the exact opposite thing, and I piss them off so much. One of the teachers even like jokingly slapped me around the head, and then the headmaster came around the corner and saw him fucking beating me. I was like,
Did you reach like,
I was like, it's a bit, sir, it's a bit, please don't kill him. I need him. I need him.
I love getting doted on because I've a guidance counselor who really liked my brother, and by extension liked me. And when I was in fifth year, which is the year before this, it's basically because it's like this year I do my final exams for college, and fifth year is just like the waiting year where you
Yeah.
cover the
This is just
syllabus for the next year's
fuck about.
exams. Yeah, so you don't matter. You have no consequences for the year. It's fuck around. You're nearly the seniors in the school. You can just do whatever you want.
Mm.
And he would take full advantage of that. He would constantly take me out of classes, and I would just skip classes on a whim. And one time, bear in mind, he's 6'5", big culchy, massive gay man, and who says the most homophobic shit I've ever heard. And he literally, I was walking in a hall once, with one arm grabbed me, did a full 360, and he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, I was going to biology." And he goes, "You don't want to do biology." And he fucking took me with him to go oversee a class of 6 years
That's so sus.
while I
To anyone
sat beside him
watching.
at his desk.
What the fuck?
While he reviewed people's college applications, like, "What do you think of this?" And I go,
Yeah,
"Arts
looks alright,
degree, bit bad."
In school, I don't even know. Like, I didn't do like I've never done a piece of homework since like when I started high school to the end of high school.
Really,
never-
you were that
yeah.
kid?
I was that kid who just was like, nah, I don't.
Were you just kind of like, "I'm not gonna get a college education"?
To be
You
fair,
like-
I went to college on a
Okay,
pilot
you went for a
program.
week.
I went to a pilot program actually that lasted a full year.
Great. How many
Ooh.
planes you flying, buddy?
Whoa, hey.
Yeah, shut the fuck
joining
up.
joining the Scottish Air
He's
Force.
the scaff.
Sturgeon's flyers, man.
But yeah, at one point I think I got like we used to get these slips. Like you could either get like a pink slip or a yellow slip. I think they were called. The yellow ones were like you have to give it to your teacher every single class, and they would like sign it in to say that you were in class or that you.
Oh, we have those for really shitty kids.
Yeah, my mum basically got me on one. My mum basically phoned up the school and was like, he doesn't get any homework. And I don't know if he's lying to me about not having
You
homework,
got
so,
no homework today. Yeah.
so can you put him on this slip? And they were like, yeah, sure.
Uh,
And then I just got out of that by forgetting it every single day.
That's like my idea of hell. Like, my parents were like, he doesn't seem to be getting any work, so what's happening about that?
Yeah, there was also a time in primary school where basically I really didn't like school, so I always wanted to get out of school, and I would say I'd always just go to the office and just be like, I'm really sick today, can I just like get sent home? And usually they would say yes, but this time they decided to phone my mum. So they phoned my mum, and my mum picks up at work, like, and she goes, "Is he being sick? Has he got a broken arm? Is he crying?" Woman's like, nah, he's not. He seems alright. He seems fine. She's like, unless he's broken a bone or is dead, he's not coming home.
Is he in pain? Is he bleeding?
Yeah, and I'm just like,
Can he walk?
Just send me home, please.
Oh,
Please.
man.
See, me and Qrow are like, unlike Will, where we both went to Catholic primary schools, and as everyone knows, the Catholics are the worst people on earth.
I went to a Catholic secondary. Thank you very much.
I went to a
Not the
Catholic
same.
primary. I went to both.
My primary was a Church of England, and my biggest offence there was when I was about 6 years old. I got caught trying to climb the fence to leave school. I got caught halfway. I was literally like halfway over, and the teacher was just like,
My brother
"You
did
gotta
that.
come back."
My brother did that in secondary school, and he like fucking like fell over the fence.
This was just funny to me because I walk past my primary school all the time, and the fence itself is like solidly 4 feet high. Like it's nothing. Like anyone could just get in, but like my fucking however old I was, like 5-year-old ass saw it as like the Great Wall of China, and it was like my goal to get over this thing. We also used to have a hole in the fence around the back by the like yard, and on the other side was a public park. So during break times, people used to slip under the fence and like use the actual swings and shit, which is technically not supposed to happen. But
See, my school was very 50-50, where they would like we'd get the same homework every day,
Yeah.
like a spellbound book for English or whatever. And if you didn't do your homework, if you were a girl, you were fine. You'd get like maybe like just do it while we're doing it. If you were a boy, you had two options. She'd either be too tired to deal with you, or she would scream at you in front of the whole class. And the amount of times I rolled that dice, my God, I was fully an atheist by the time I was like 10.
Yeah.
No joke, I fully was like, God isn't real. There's no way God's real. And I would literally start the day going, God, if you make sure she's tired and not angry today, I'll actually start going to church. And then every time it would work out for me, I'd go, load of bollocks.
Cheers, pal.
I go, it's just a bluff. Not doing it, sorry.
I just had this guy in primary school used to go around like, I mean, I'm really sorry if this is like an important thing to people, but I couldn't remember if he generally for some reason thought he followed like the old Greek gods. Right?
Okay,
and
yeah.
if you were ever mean to him, he'd pick up like a bunch of leaves, like a very particular
please.
bunch of leaves, and he'd like throw them up in the air and see how they land, and then he'd basically tell you whether Zeus smiled upon you or some shit. Like
He'd be like, the fates are not kind.
but then like in his other hand, he'd have like one of those like children's books about like the Greek gods.
Jesus
that he's
Christ.
clearly just reading from as he goes along. It was
My
fucking
ancestors smile on me, Imperial.
hilarious. Can you? Oh man, I used to love that shit. That was
I would
fucking
rather
cool.
chill with somebody who believes in the Greek or Norse gods than a diehard Christian.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Speaking of whether gods would help you, we're at 50 minutes. Let's move on to.
We didn't even finish the animal discussion.
No, well, we're here now. Listen up.
I could fight a lion.
Great, cool. That's that section over.
We didn't even discuss monkeys. Sad time.
Well, look, if you want to go back, but hey, what type of apocalypse do you, courtesy of Charlie, what type of apocalypse would you fare best in?
Not a zombie one.
I feel
You
like
reckon?
it could be okay in a zombie one.
I would rather be in a nuclear winter than a zombie apocalypse.
Okay, but so in both scenarios, are you present before the period at which the outbreak happens?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's suspend our disbelief and like a nuclear winter happens and we're still alive after and we don't
Somehow.
immediately suffer radiation poisoning.
Well, you.
Everything's wrecked. It's Mad Max. Like tribes are everywhere, raiders, the fucking gunners, whatever. The
I
NCR
can
is knocking
drive, so
about.
it's all fine.
Yeah,
Assuming you
the
find a
new
working car.
California Republic is somehow in the UK and Ireland.
You can fill in your own
the
requested
new Scottish
apocalypse
Republic.
if you can think of another type that's not nuclear winter or zombie.
To be fair, I think I could survive a zombie apocalypse.
I think I would fare better in maybe as. I mean, because the thing about zombies is there's kind of like this like Hollywood decision of like what a zombie is, where you have
Yeah.
like the green
The
guys that
Rumbles.
walk around with their arms out and like.
If you get like World War Z zombies,
Yeah, like the
Oh, no,
who
fuck that.
fucking sprint at you.
Yo, I'm dead in that instance. Like, fuck that. But like on a day-to-day basis, I think I'd be fine because like if things are tough, I'd just shut up and just get on with it.
Sneak
Like I wouldn't
about.
complain about. Well, no, but like I'm not the type of guy who'd just complain if someone's just like, oh, like we don't have electricity.
You could
shit
just
like
move
that,
out
I'd be
like
like-
north or whatever and just chill in the countryside where there's less people and live in a cabin.
No, I'd be
Yeah.
good in the west of England. No, I'd
You
be
could take
solid
out
down
a
here.
farm.
I'd start up the fucking.
Scotland would be fine. Well, I see
West
Scotland would be
Republic.
fine. I feel like I could be okay.
just moves up to the Highlands.
The IRA would just
We've-
wipe out all the zombies.
Like, we've all watched enough zombie films to sort of, like, get a basis of what we could
Here's the thing. You would definitely die thinking a trick on a zombie would work from something you've seen. And then the zombie would be like,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
Okay, but I think you'd have more luck scavenging for supplies and general survival in a zombie outbreak than in a nuclear outbreak.
Oh yeah,
because
because
there's no food
everything's
you
still
can eat.
there after a zombie
Food.
outbreak. But when a nuclear winter, everything's gone. But it's like...
You can't grow anything. You can't.
It's-
Like, you can't
the
go and
difference
kill a
is-
cow.
In a zombie apocalypse, resources are like a concern, but they're not a massive problem because it's all there. Whereas you
Yeah,
have
but-
this constant pressing danger of zombies, whereas a nuclear winter, you have very little resources, but no pressing
Be a
danger. like
shame
the
if one of
zombies.
you were one of those people that hates canned food, then you'd be in trouble.
Yeah, dude. Imagine you
Would
don't
it
like
still be
beans.
Would they not be radiated as well? Like, I don't know how radiation works. Don't call me.
Yeah, try to avoid radiation poisoning.
Yeah. See, zombie
Man.
apocalypse is so much easier because it's not like you're not getting wiped out in the first bomb. Oh, I say that, but like in most zombie movies, it's always like, oh, the
Okay, let's even
military.
up then. Say you were just in like a Fallout game then, like the Fallout level of apocalypse,
So what do we get? Are we involved?
where there's relative like society.
Well, yeah, like so. Are we present at the start when everything blows up? Or
No, you're just a dude living in the.
just the dudes, right? Yeah.
Or if you want to be like the fucking sole survivor who existed before.
I reckon I could merchandise and have a comfortable living.
I feel like
Join
I
a
could
caravan.
I could probably do okay.
Nah, I'd set up like a stall in like a town,
Like obviously we're all in
selling like Vault merchandise.
Oh, there is a person that does that. Yeah.
Fault merch.
I'd be so cool. I'd be like the talk of the town. Everyone would come and see fucking Vinny's Vault. Vinny's Vault.
Dude,
I
you're
would
just gonna
do-
rename yourself.
Yeah, I'll
I
be
would do
Vinny.
everything in my power to get into a vault.
Vinny's my apocalypse name. I'll be called Vinny Slackjaw. I think that's my name.
Vinny Slackjaw.
That's my name. Because I think I'd just be aghast. Shall we say? Oh, pun! Fallout pun, that's the first. I'm so good. Thank
Gas?
you, everyone.
Do you mean goo?
No. I said it.
Gas or Minecraft.
Yeah, I guess you mean.
Do you think you could survive in Minecraft?
Yeah,
I'd be
easily.
punching trees all day, bro. Just
I would be punching Qrow all day.
douche, 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 douche. Fucking me and Charlie be building across the nether, and they just keep trying to push me.
Yeah, I'd slap him on the ass.
Oh, fucking hell.
Future will cut in a clip of Qrow screaming, thanks.
You've
Yeah,
probably
I
got
mean-
thousands of them by this point.
I probably do have.
The prick.
Does he have no respect for culture?
Exactly.
Depends if our favourite streamer, Maya the Oracle, still has her amazing clip up.
Oh, the one where
Will we get her on?
At some
Yeah, we
point
can-
we could, yeah.
If we
Okay.
have an audience, then we could think about getting guests on at some point, maybe.
I mean, how are we going to get an audience if we don't abuse her fame?
That's a fair point.
We could, we could put the clip of me falling over in the horse in Red Dead, and I call you a cunt a few times.
If we just released like a quarter of the clips I have as unlisted on my YouTube channel.
Half the clips I have of Qrow are things that the rest of the gang just don't even know about.
Yeah.
They're just things where Crow's done something, and then there's silence, and then he looks at me and goes, "Don't tell anyone."
I was just like, shall I just turn up at your house and literally take one step in, one step out?
Shut up, man. Shut up. You see nothing. See nothing, cunt. Shut up. Because I always turn around and it's either you, Charlie, or like someone else is, and no one else has noticed. And I'm just like, shut up, please, just shut up.
Don't tell Dad.
Please.
Don't tell the dog.
Oh, that reminds me of there was a kid in my school. I won't say names, but they were at a party before. I think it was before our GCSEs, which for anyone who doesn't know, is just like a kind of it's like the big exam when you're like kind of 16ish. It's like your general certificate of standard education. I think that's what it stands for. Anyway, point is, it's like a big deal. And this is like the night before one of them. There's like a kind of party. Just being like, "Yay, school's over!" Woohoo! Because that's like the end of like compulsory school.
Oh.
And one of the kids got. It's like it wasn't a big deal at all. So I understand when I say this, I'm going to sound like a bit of a neek when I go, one kid got spotted smoking, right? Wasn't a big deal at all. Whoa, well, like, what's our school like? Is it crazy? Am I right?
Smoking what?
Just literally no, just like literally just like a roll up, just like a self-made cigarette with a fucking Rizzler.
Probably rat shit in it.
And he got spotted, but he was like the last kid that you like. Okay, maybe not the last kid,
Yeah.
but he's like one of the kids you wouldn't expect to do it. And his reaction to realizing someone was filming him on Snapchat wasn't to like try and like play it cool or like not do anything, which is what I would try and do. I don't know about you. I just wouldn't make a big deal of it. But this kid turned and he went, "Don't tell Mr. Jenkins."
Don't tell the dean.
Because it wasn't even like on school property or anything. Like, there's no reason to like.
Was Mr. Jenkins like a family member?
No.
Imagine
That's
calling
not-
your dad Mr. Jenkins.
That's not even his name. I just didn't want to fucking out anyone. But like,
Yeah, that's how you get doxxed.
Everyone just fucking came into school. Obviously, no one would have told him, but since that happened, everyone went and told this guy. This poor teacher, he's like a physics teacher. They're just like, did you know that fucking X student smoked? And he was like, why would I care? It was just really sad.
I got weaponized to make a fucking mental attack on a teacher once.
Jesus Christ.
There's this science teacher, Mr. Newell, right? And my brother graduated by this stage, and his friend Colin came over and was like, do you have Mr. Newell for anything? I went, yeah, I have him for science. And he goes, call him a baldy bastard. And I said, okay. Because I was young, and I didn't assume this had bad intentions. I assumed they were good mates, and this was a funny joke they had between them. And I said, hey, Mr. Newell, Colin says baldy bastard. And he looked at me and he went, that hurts my feelings. And I said, am I in trouble? He said, no. And I said, sorry then. And I walked away.
Say it. You just leave. Oh, that's so sad.
And he was a nutcase. When he would get mad at us, he would slap his table and go, I'm the king of this castle. The only person who interrupts me is my wife. Because we'd be interrupting him.
We used to have a Spanish teacher who gave off the same sort of vibes. He was actually such a Chad. Okay, side note. So my friends at school were kind of a bit of a nutcase, and not in the strange kind. So like, for example, one kid got distracted during break, and in that time another kid, so someone deliberately distracted this kid so someone else could come and quickly tie his shoelaces together. Haha, funny prank. Right, okay, nothing special. But then this kid, for whatever reason, tries to untie it, realizes that it's actually done so strong he physically cannot untie his shoelaces, and decides to hop to class.
What the fuck?
Bearing in mind it is upstairs, so he's like hopping along, trying to get up the stairs. This teacher, the Spanish teacher, he looks down, sees the kid, and stares at him and goes, why are your shoelaces tied together? And the kid goes, these kids were bullying me and they did it. And he went, okay then. And then just kept looking at him. And the kid was like, are you going to help, sir? And he's like, what? No, this is hilarious. And just walked off and left the kid on his own. And it was really sad. But that guy was such a lad. He also used to take us for rugby training because we were a private school. So we did rugby, hockey, cricket, that sort of stuff. And all the kids had to get involved. And he was trying to give us a pep talk before one of the big games. Bearing in mind, this was like, I was in like the B team, right? So this is completely comprised. This was completely comprised of kids who weren't complete failures, but weren't like trying to be anything particularly
on their
special
way
in sport. They're just people who were like playing sport for fun, rather than being completely crazy or really good at the sport. And he'd sit us down and he goes, right, I came from Reading, where I grew up from, people used to come down with their bike chains and they used to, they'd put them down on the side of the pitch as like a sign, just to show the other team they were being serious about this. Bearing in mind, we were like fucking 12. We were just sitting there like...
lecturing you on warfare?
Yeah, these guys from fucking Queen Elizabeth's fucking hospital school in fucking... Are they here to kill us? Is this what's happening? And he's going, I want determination from you. I want inspiration from you. I want everything that ends in Asian from you. And one kid just went, master. And everyone just shat themselves. And he stood up and he's going, that's not funny. It's not funny. It's not funny. Don't say masturbation.
What are you, 12?
You just imagine like these kids on the other side of the pitch watching this grown man standing in front of a bunch of like 12-year-olds sitting cross-legged on the floor in front of him on a pitch going, masturbation isn't funny. It's not funny.
It's a serious matter. Let me show you.
So yeah, that's Catholic school.
Oh, big up the boys.
People in my school stole a door last week. These guys came in, and in the toilets you have like the stalls and whatnot, and on the one that's innermost of the room, just come out taking a piss in between classes, have a weak bladder. Turn and look, some fucking cunt with a fucking screwdriver just against the door.
Wait, so he actually took it off?
Yeah, he fully detached it.
Jesus.
They wanted to steal it, but they got rumbled, so they had to escape. None of them got caught, but the door was attached, and the next time I went to the bathroom, I saw our fucking groundskeeper type guy angrily screwing the door back on. They had to get the guy who guards the back. We have a guy, because quarantine, you're only allowed like 2 people in the bathroom at a time. None of us follow that rule. So to make us follow that rule, they hired this guy to stand outside the bathrooms and only allow people in 2 at a time. None of us like listen to him or heed him or treat him as an authority figure. We call him Slime because his name is like fucking whatever. Slime.
His name is Slime.
We go, what's up there, G? And he's a bit of a lad, and he fucking the groundskeeper's an old guy, and he couldn't really pick up the door, and he like called him in. He's like, how do we get this door? And I having witnessed it, felt kind of guilty, and instead of acting on that, I left him to.
As a guilty man, I decided to do the right thing and leave. I
ran away.
only had... We had a kid who was so fat in fucking primary school that he tried to stand on a urinal to look through like a small window to see the girls' changing room, and he actually broke the urinal and he fell on it.
What a creep!
And it's fucking hilarious just watching this big sack of shit just collapse onto a broken. And then we had another story where on the final day of school, this guy was so pissed off with his exam results that he took off a toilet and put it on the top of the school building, so it was on full display, which was honestly perhaps the most Chad move that anyone's ever done at our school, apart from the guy who walked a cow into the main hall.
What?
Did you have muck-up days?
I don't know what that means.
Okay, so it was tradition in our school on the final day of every year that anyone who was leaving the school just did something stupid to like be remembered by. God, honorable mentions. Do you know like astro pictures?
Yeah.
With like walls and stuff. Mm-hmm. Someone locked all the year 7s in there with a bunch of sheep. That was a good one. And they stayed in there for the whole day.
What the fuck?
Another one was the Black Hand Gang. That was a legacy thing that was passed down. A bunch of sixth formers used to run around the school with acrylic paint on their hands, and they used to just fucking happy slap people with this acrylic paint.
Didn't the Black Hand Gang assassinate Franz Ferdinand?
Probably, I don't know.
How deep does this legacy go?
Yo, we're onto something here, Jesus.
Man,
He just happy slapped my boy, Franz.
Well, acting like he's not a member of the fucking Black Hand Gang that killed Princess Diana.
No, I got happy slapped on the cheek and I had to go to class with this handprint on my face. It was horrid. I was a year 7. I just joined the school. I was like fucking 4'7", man. And I just had this massive handprint on my face. They wanted me to out the sixth former who did it, but I was too terrified to.
Oh yeah.
That's really sad. What else? Oh, so our old school motto used to be "Rise to the challenge." So someone put up loads of posters advertising Viagra at our school with "Rise to the challenge" on it, which was kind of funny. Then you had the classic ones like cling filming the toilets, which is always kind of unoriginal in my opinion.
People just put brooms in the ceiling in my school.
What?
Because the ceilings are all soft foam and they have like rips in them or whatever. Yeah. So people just get these brooms and stick them up there. And they just vibe there. I don't know. It's 2 brooms were in the ceiling when I was in history.
Oh, someone drove their Fiat Panda into the chapel and then turned it upside down.
What?
That was the best one because we couldn't get out.
Fiat Panda? Like a whole car?
Yeah, like a car. They just drove it into the chapel at our school and turned it on its head.
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
that was one way to leave. That was a good one. But that's kind of... those are all my crazy school stories, final day of school stories. I didn't do anything. By the time I got to my year, they'd banned Muck Up Day. So.
Can't believe they banned
Can't imagine why.
No, I'm disappointed. That was tradition. Tradition. I thought my school respected values of anarchy. We always talk about ethos. Ethos is a big buzzword at our school, and that was disrespecting the ethos, in my opinion. Getting rid of Muck Up Day, man.
We have this thing in school where we pull an all-nighter for charity. We can't do it this year because of reasons, obviously, but they did this thing where you would go and you would basically just have to stay awake for a whole night overnight in the school, and if you fell asleep, you would get punished.
Oh damn.
And depending on how much money was raised, there would be punishments for the teachers. So
Jesus.
last year's one was great. One of our teachers, who was a very pale ginger, had to get a professional spray tan.
Oh, that's big.
It was horrible for him. God, what were some of the other ones? Oh, one of the teachers had to sing Katy Perry's Firework over the intercom.
Yeah, that's what. Oh, wasn't that the one you recorded?
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, that's I love that.
You have to give that to me so I can play that, man.
Oh, I don't know if I still have it.
They should have been 10 grand.
Anyway, no, we never had anything like that. We used to pour custard on teachers sometimes. I was about it.
Gee, you guys, I can't do that shit to my teachers, man.
Well, no, like it was a charity thing, right? It was.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say.
I didn't.
Grown
It was.
man.
It wasn't. It was just a drive-by. Like I just run into class, fucking donk 'em with custard. And leave.
Got you, knobhead.
No, it's like a charity thing. Like, it was like a raffle. Like you'd put like a quid in, they'd shake the hat. If your name got pulled out, you get to. No, they'd pull a teacher's name out and they'd pull your name out, and if they matched, then you got to fucking dunk that teacher and whatever. I got my tutor, which was kind of awkward, but
No hard
that was
feelings.
fun.
Don't fail
Yeah,
me.
no hard feelings. He then wrote me a note at the end of the year, and he finished it with a quote that was like, which I'm going to finish this podcast on because I think it's fitting. The quote was,
Dickhead.
"Oh, can you give me a second? You're cunt."
Yeah.
You're a
Ignore it.
dickhead.
I showed your man.
I'm gonna get it. I'm on the other side.
Why
Right.
he's gone? Let's discuss his greatest flaws.
I pinned it up.
His greatest flaws
On my
that he
pinboard.
thinks that Godzilla would beat King Kong.
Godzilla would be King Kong.
Go.
He really wouldn't.
I'll actually kill your whole family,
That's another conversation for another day.
bitch.
Right, is he back?
Did I miss something?
No.
No.
You guys bitching about me?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Go on, tell us the
Cunt.
quote. Bitch.
Only by associating with wise people may you become wise yourself. In other words, what he was telling me was, your friends are dumb, ditch them. So that's... I dropped a spoon. That's my quote. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you could not hanging around very wise. You should drop your spoon.
Yeah, so as you can see, I took his advice on board, and now I'm talking to you guys.
What he actually meant by it was, you guys should probably make a podcast 5 years in the future.
Yeah,
Here we are.
He knew.
he knew. Yo,
Thank
get
you,
him
teacher.
credited.
Thank you, teacher, that I won't name for potential...
Thanks,
legal-
Greg.
Yeah, thanks,
Yo,
Steve.
Jim.
Cheers, one more.
Jim, bro.
We all said a different name.
I feel like I will probably mention him a few more times in the podcast, so from now on, his honorary name is Chad.
Great.
So if I ever mention Chad, you know it was my old tutor from
Love him.
about 7 years ago. So. Yeah, so we've hit an hour. We've done it, boys.
Handily.
I've done it.
It was a good pilot. Qrow will know because he went to pilot school. So
I did went to the SCAF.
Unfortunately, he did kill 7 people in a flight simulator.
Right, we don't talk
dishonorably
about that.
discharged for
don't talk about
crimes
that, come on.
against the state.
Look, I might be on the run from the Scottish government, but
Well, yeah, they're so good.
Yeah.
He's been sitting in place for 5 years.
nah, every single time we do a new podcast, I'll be in a new location, so they can't find me.
When you had said in the apocalypse question that you'd move north, are you actually like in a cave in Iceland?
Are you already in your apocalypse?
Well, you know, I can't actually tell you guys.
Crow in I Am Legend.
What
Next
you doing out
week-
here, Greg?
How'd you get out of here, Greg?
Greg, you gotta run, dude. I think for our next podcast, we should play GeoGuessr and work out where the fuck Qrow is right now.
Is this episode 0 or episode 1?
Episode 0.
I put 0 because I thought it's kind of like us seeing if this could actually be a thing.
I'll be honest, kind of fire content.
You
To be kinda
feeling it?
fire, yeah.
I'm feeling it.
All right. Well,
I'll probably be the world's richest man in the next few weeks. Though.
I think it could come to that, honestly.
Let's do another one right after.
Yeah, let's go right now. Episode 1. Hi guys.
Let's go.
Get my.
fucking go.
But yeah.
VTubers, what's the deal with them?
Literally just interview about VTubers.
Yo, that's episode 3. Don't get ahead of us.
No, shit, yeah, sorry.
We should just, we should fucking send this to her and be like, we mention you, and then don't tell her when.
That's how you get
Force her to watch the whole thing.
What do you think of this mention? We're plugging your content. Yeah, but seriously, guys, ttv.maya the Oracle.
Twitch.tv/Novsta.
Twitch TV/Novstar. By the time this is released, I may have also streamed again. Who knows? But that is it. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Charlie got abducted. He is now left. That sound at the door was Charlie's. We don't know what's happened to him, but he has left the
government found
podcast.
him. The government found him.
He has just dipped. We don't know where he is. If he's not here next episode, you know what happened. But thank you guys for watching. If you made it this far, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Found the hidden Easter egg.
The hidden Easter egg was Charlie being abducted.
Anyway, fuck off. We need to what's our signing out?
So no, fuck, I don't know.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.